Hey adrenaline junkies, welcome to Police Pursuit. Today we launch a new fresh series when people messed with the wrong cops. Every reckless choice flips on instant justice mode. Buckle up, let's roll right now folks. Bobby Lee Atkins, November 29, 1965, was observed operating a white 2011 Cadillac CTS bearing Georgia tag CUW 7406, traveling northbound on Highway 85/Garden Walk Boulevard in Clayton County. The vehicle had previously fled from Forest Park PD, and records showed the registration was suspended and the insurance was no longer active. When officers attempted a traffic stop, Atkins accelerated and fled, nearly colliding with several vehicles. To prevent further danger, a pit maneuver was executed, causing the Cadillac to lose control and come to a stop. Atkins was removed from the vehicle and taken into custody without incident. He complained of rib pain after striking the steering wheel and was evaluated by EMS on scene.
Traffic.
Bye. Pit.
After being advised of his Miranda rights, Atkins admitted to consuming alcohol prior to driving. At the hospital, medical staff determined he also had cocaine in his system. Upon discharge, he was transported to the Clayton County Jail for booking. The vehicle sustained significant damage and was towed from the scene.
I didn't do nothing, sir. I didn't do nothing.
Let me get your right hand.
On November 21, 2025, Trooper Loftus responded to a request from Little Rock Police during a pursuit near Crystal Valley and Stagecoach Road. He quickly located the fleeing vehicle in heavy traffic and took over as the primary unit, carefully following the suspect while monitoring the danger to nearby drivers. When the driver ran a red light, Trooper Loftus executed a controlled tactical vehicle intervention to stop the threat before someone was hurt. The vehicle struck a curb and came to a stop near a fire station. The driver, Daviana Dean, was arrested without further incident. The case is another reminder that fleeing from police rarely ends well and often turns a simple stop into a dangerous situation with serious legal consequences. On November 23, 2019, at approximately 02:39 hours, a patrol unit on GA 400 near Lenox Road received information from Atlanta police regarding a black Mercedes-Benz traveling 125 miles per hour in a posted 55 miles per hour zone on I-85 North. Shortly thereafter, a 1990s model black Mercedes passed the patrol location at an estimated speed of 120 miles per hour. Emergency lights and siren were activated, and a pursuit was initiated.
Passing Buford, I think he's going to try to get on, he's getting on 85 northbound, be advised.
The vehicle exited onto Lenox Road and ran multiple red lights at major intersections, including Peachtree Road, GA13, and the I-85 north on-ramp, at times traveling in the wrong lane before entering the interstate. Due to the extreme danger posed to the public, officers executed a pit maneuver when feasible. The first pit caused the vehicle to rotate, but the driver regained control and continued fleeing. A second impact also failed to stop the vehicle.
Leave 786 trying to set up for another pit. We're taking the exit for North Druid Hills.
After exiting at N Druid Hills Road, Trooper Jay Pylon positioned behind the vehicle. The driver suddenly braked, struck the patrol vehicle, and veered into the path of another unit, resulting in additional collisions. Officers coordinated to force the vehicle into rotation, boxed it in, and used controlled contact to bring it to a complete stop. The driver attempted to reverse and flee again, but was blocked in. The driver refused commands to show his hands, prompting officers to break the window and deploy a taser twice before safely taking him into custody. On scene, he displayed clear signs of impairment, including a strong odor of alcohol, watery eyes, and slurred speech. He refused field sobriety testing and was transported for medical evaluation prior to booking.
EMS right down.
A 23-year-old man from Forest City, Dustin Pullman, was arrested by Arkansas State Police after a high-speed pursuit that began on Highway 49 and ended in Fayetteville. Officers attempted to stop a stolen Jeep, but Pullman refused to pull over and sped away, turning the situation into a dangerous chase that put many lives at risk. The pursuit ended in a devastating crash when the Jeep went airborne, slammed into a utility pole, and rolled over. The passenger was violently ejected from the vehicle and suffered catastrophic injuries that resulted in permanent paralysis. Despite the severe crash, Pullman fled the scene on foot in an attempt to escape responsibility.
Wrecked out EMS, wrecked out EMS. Find him, keep an eye on him. Gray sweatshirt went around.
AK-9 unit quickly tracked him down, and he was taken into custody. Pullman now faces multiple felony charges, including battery, kidnapping, fleeing, and parole violations. This tragic case serves as a stark reminder that reckless decisions and fleeing from law enforcement can destroy lives in seconds and lead to life-changing consequences for everyone involved.
The driver went off.
On June 25, 2024, Sergeant House was monitoring radio traffic from the Jonesboro Police Department regarding a vehicle pursuit near Terra Boulevard and Highway 138. He responded to assist and soon located the fleeing vehicle traveling southbound on North Main Street, assuming the role of primary unit.
probably gonna pop out on North Main by the Leavenworth. How big can you get?
Where's the vehicle pursuit so I can get over there? I'm at North Main, 138.
Come down that train, Monroe. North Main High Road.
The suspect was driving recklessly toward the heavily congested intersection of Highway 138 and Tara Boulevard, posing a serious threat to motorists and pedestrians in the area. Recognizing the escalating danger, Sergeant House chose the appropriate moment to execute a precision immobilization technique, PIT, maneuver. The controlled tactical contact caused the vehicle to lose control within a managed range and come to a stop.
I'm good. I'm gonna be entry point for the bush monster about that. Okay. Airport checking. Hey, where you at?
Okay, don't go no thing.
Play name in the suit. 16 radio, I'm good. I'm still at the entry point for the bush monster about that. Clear. Airport checking.
Once the vehicle stopped, the driver, identified as Latron Taylor, attempted to flee but quickly surrendered when a K-9 unit was deployed. The passenger was held at gunpoint to ensure officer safety, and both suspects were taken into custody and turned over to the Jonesboro Police Department, while the Georgia State Patrol handled the crash investigation. Genesee County Flint City Dispatch broadcast a shots-fired call near 3921 Joyner Street. Two troopers responded, spoke with residents, and identified the suspect vehicle as a newer white Dodge Charger with a cracked windshield and no license plate. After confirming that no one had been struck by gunfire, they began canvassing the area.
We are eastbound Sunset, 3569 monitoring.
Monitoring approved.
The vehicle was soon located stopped at a traffic light at Ballinger Highway and Flushing Road. When troopers activated their emergency lights and siren to initiate a stop, the driver immediately accelerated, triggering a pursuit. The Charger sped through multiple roadways in an attempt to escape.
We're still northbound Warrington. Coming up to Canterbury Lane.
The first pit maneuver caused the vehicle to lose stability momentarily, but the driver regained control and continued fleeing. On a second approach, a more decisive PIT was executed, spinning the Charger out of control and forcing it to a stop.
Eastbound Road 1.
Copy.
4038.
The driver, identified as Tyree Nazrael Parker, jumped out and fled on foot. During the foot pursuit near Pearson Road and I-75, he was seen running with a handgun before throwing it in an attempt to discard evidence. After a tense chase, a taser was deployed and he was taken into custody. The recovered firearm was a loaded Glock 30.45 caliber with an extended magazine and a round chambered. Parker was transported to the Genesee County Jail and faces multiple serious charges, including discharging a firearm from a moving vehicle, felon in possession of a firearm, fleeing and eluding, resisting and obstructing police, and additional felony offenses. On August 7, 2021, a Georgia trooper in Fulton County attempted to stop a red Chevrolet Equinox speeding along the shoulder of I-75/85 while passing heavy traffic. Instead of pulling over, the driver fled, running red lights and driving recklessly through busy streets. At one point, the SUV nearly struck a pedestrian and several other vehicles, creating a dangerous situation for everyone nearby.
And 10-4 on 1080, approaching Edgewood.
Left shoulder, right shoulder.
Right shoulder, I'm coming up to you, work way to the right.
They're only about 6 or 8 stages.
The chase ended when the vehicle crashed near Peachtree Street. 4 occupants quickly jumped out and ran in different directions in an attempt to escape the scene.
Hey, 14, be with 468.
Alright, stop, traffic stop here.
Past Norman Avenue.
Exiting. Slowing down.
After a short foot pursuit, the driver, D'Angelo Antoine Rogers, was captured and arrested. He was wanted for aggravated assault, and officers later discovered a loaded 9mm handgun, suspected liquid drugs, and suspicious checks inside the vehicle. As a convicted felon, Rogers now faces even more serious charges. Another reminder that fleeing police only turns reckless choices into life-changing consequences.
Yes, they could. Yes, they could.
On April 9th, 2024, Officer Palmer of the Monroe Police Department observed a vehicle with illegally tinted windows. What he did not know at the time was that the driver, Daniel Lee Campbell, had multiple reasons to avoid law enforcement contact and quickly fled, leading to a serious pursuit.
Double Springs and Davie. Double Springs, passing Reservoir.
During the attempt to escape, Campbell drove recklessly in an effort to evade officers. Due to the danger he posed to the public, officers decided to deploy a precision immobilization technique, PIT maneuver. The PIT was executed effectively, causing the vehicle to lose control, rotate, and come to a complete stop, bringing the pursuit to an end.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
As soon as the vehicle stopped, Campbell opened the door and fled on foot. Officers, along with a K-9 unit, immediately pursued him. After a brief search, he was located, taken into custody, and arrested safely. Campbell was subsequently booked into the Fulton County Jail on multiple charges, including felony fleeing and eluding, drug possession, reckless driving, and obstruction of a law enforcement officer. He was also wanted in connection with a prior domestic violence shooting incident and other violations. Fleeing from law enforcement only escalates the situation and results in more serious criminal charges. Reckless actions endanger lives and lead to severe legal consequences. Cooperating with officers is always the safer and wiser choice. In the early morning of July 20th, 2024, while patrolling near Highway 42 in Rex, Georgia in connection with a nearby armed robbery, Deputy Ferguson observed a white 2023 BMW 530E improperly stopped in front of a Texaco entrance. The driver provided a name but had no license, and the information returned no record. When asked to exit, he suddenly fled, initiating a pursuit. The chase escalated onto I-675 North, with speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour. The BMW drove aggressively, made abrupt lane changes, entered oncoming lanes, ran red lights, and reached approximately 130 miles per hour before turning onto Stagecoach Road. In Henry County, a pursuit-ending technique brought the vehicle to a stop. The driver fled on foot into the woods, but was subdued after Deputy Ferguson deployed his taser. He was identified as Brian James Blair, July 7, 1988, wanted for a probation violation with a suspended license.
Stand by.
A search of the vehicle revealed 3 loaded firearms, multiple controlled substances, including marijuana, methamphetamine, psilocybin mushrooms, and alprazolam, and several identification documents belonging to other individuals. After being advised of his Miranda rights, Blair admitted he fled because he knew he did not have a valid license and was violating probation. He was arrested, the vehicle was impounded, and he was transported to the Clayton County Jail. On October 24th at approximately 1:19 p.m., Troop A was advised that a green Jeep Gladiator had been stolen from a hospital near I-630. Authorities were informed that a firearm had been left inside the vehicle at the time of the theft, indicating the female suspect could be armed. The vehicle was later located traveling south on US 167 at approximately 85 miles per hour in a posted 60 miles per hour zone. When emergency lights and siren were activated, the driver shook her head, no, moved into the fast lane, and continued to flee. At 7,315 US 167, a tactical vehicle intervention, TVI, was executed to end the pursuit. The maneuver caused the Jeep to lose control, leave the roadway, and roll multiple times across the shoulder before finally coming to rest amid scattered debris. The driver, identified as Paige Chandrell Flood, suspended license, was ejected from the vehicle and found unresponsive in nearby weeds. A stolen SIG 9mm pistol was recovered from the vehicle. Due to the severity of her injuries, an affidavit for an arrest warrant is being prepared. The vehicle was towed from the scene pending further investigation. While on patrol, a trooper heard Kent County Dispatch broadcast multiple attempted robberies at several cell phone stores, all tied to the same vehicle. The description immediately stood out. That vehicle had already been linked to an armed robbery at a Boost Mobile in Grand Rapids on November 16, 2020, and its method matched a string of armed and strong-arm robberies that had plagued the area for months.
North, check South Carolina, coming up to 196.
South Carolina plate coming up to 196 for the 1153.
Steel line, Lake Michigan Drive, under 196, coming up to Michigan.
The chase stretched roughly 2 miles along Lake Michigan Drive. A first pit attempt near Sibley Street briefly disrupted the vehicle, but the driver recovered and kept fleeing. Near Richards Avenue, a second, more decisive pit maneuver was executed. This time, the vehicle lost control and came to a stop.
Okay.
I've got the third. Yes. Yes.
The occupants bolted on foot, but the perimeter closed quickly. With assistance from Kent County deputies and Grand Rapids officers, all suspects were located and taken into custody, bringing an end to a robbery spree that had stretched on for months.
I did.
Another pit attempt, another pit attempt.
At approximately 2:29 a.m. on July 2nd, 2023, a trooper spotted a blue 2018 Dodge Challenger Scat Pack traveling on Peachtree Road at West Wesley Road. The vehicle had been reported stolen earlier that night by Atlanta police.
Clear, nobody's there. We are safe.
As the Challenger turned onto West Wesley Road, the driver suddenly accelerated and fled, speeding west before heading south on Moores Mill Road. The situation grew more chaotic when a rear seat passenger unexpectedly opened the door and fell onto the roadway. Moments earlier, another passenger had jumped from the still-moving vehicle, underscoring the dangerous panic inside.
Get somebody to him, 1018. This Challenger's not going to last much longer, I don't think. Now we're going through another stop sign that's clear.
The pursuit continued onto Marietta Boulevard and into Cobb County. Along Atlanta Road, the trooper attempted two petit maneuvers, but the powerful Challenger managed to power through and regain control each time. The suspect's car was speeding so fast that one of his tires came off. It was very dangerous.
Hit attempt, no good. He's lost a wheel. Hit attempt, no good. He's lost a wheel.
After the second attempt, the driver abruptly slammed on the brakes, causing the vehicle to lurch to a stop. Three suspects immediately bailed out and fled on foot into a residential neighborhood near Westwood Road.
Another pit attempt, another pit attempt. Spinning out. Now he's got it back.
The suspects jumped fences and disappeared into the darkness, evading capture despite a canine search. The Challenger was recovered with suspected stolen property, a firearm, and illegal drugs found inside. The vehicle was impounded for investigation. At approximately 12:57 p.m. on August 13, 2024, while monitoring traffic near U.S. Highway 79 in Stevens, a trooper observed a silver Chevy Blazer with the driver not wearing a seatbelt. When emergency lights and siren were activated, the driver, identified as Carlos Brown, refused to comply, abruptly turning onto Cannon Street and accelerating away, initiating a pursuit through several residential streets. Brown ignored multiple stop signs, took turns at dangerous speeds, and nearly lost control several times. After looping back toward the intersection of Cannon Street and Carnelian Street, he attempted to negotiate a turn too aggressively, ran off the roadway, and struggled to regain control. The trooper quickly closed the distance, applying pressure that forced the vehicle into the front yard of a residence, where it finally came to a stop. Brown threw open the door and attempted to flee on foot. However, upon seeing the trooper already in position with a taser drawn, he immediately dropped to the ground and surrendered. The pursuit, which lasted approximately 2 miles, ended there. Brown was charged with felony fleeing, reckless driving, no seatbelt, no liability insurance, and failure to register the vehicle. He was transported to the Ouachita County Jail for processing.